and I was taken down. We have
How
the
did that
Black Panthers
How does that
in
impact
San
you?
Francisco.
How does that impact you?
Well, I'm saying there's a history. I'm trying to establish a link here.
No, but I think, again, that you're trained to do this in the college. It has no bearing on whether or not you can make good decisions or not.
Well,
right?
college has no impetus on my thinking. This is
No,
organic.
I know, but I reject the whole premise. You are not a creature or a victim of what happened 104 years ago. You're your own being with your own agency, your own ability to make decisions of right
and I
or
agree
wrong.
to not subscribing to a victim mentality and taking
I know,
accountability
but I don't
for your
think,
actions.
I don't think any of that plays into your current status.
You don't think so at all?
No.
Can you list more reasons as to why?
Yeah, the number one problem with Black America is the fact that dads are not around, not the fact that
and
there
that's
was
enforced by the government.
No, it's not.
Different.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back going to a new video. Today, we're going to be checking out Indoctrinated students nearly crashes out after hearing the facts from Charlie Kirk. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be good. I just got the feeling this is going to be amazing. I call him Charlie Kick because he loves kicking us. Let's get right into today's video.
All right, you seem pretty educated on foreign and domestic policies. I'll try not to. You seem pretty educated on foreign and domestic policies. What's your take on rectifying the homeless crisis in LA as far as it goes with Karen Bass and Governor Newsom coming from, San Francisco and such? What can we do moving forward? Is DEI the next way to fix these programs,
No.
allocating these funds, figuring out what the council members are doing? Where should we go with this? What's the next step for Californians and locals?
It's very simple. When Xi Jinping visited San Francisco, all the streets were cleaned up and it looked like Singapore and there were no more homeless. We can solve the homelessness problem overnight.
That's correct.
If we choose to do it. But your leaders are choosing not to clean up the streets. It takes the will. Every homeless person should be given a place in a shelter, should be given 3 meals a day. They should be given a shower, but they should never be given license to stay on the streets. The streets are not their home. You clean up the streets and you give them the help they need. Period. End of story.
Another big YouTuber, Channel 5, Brandon Cunningham, does a lot of hit pieces on San Francisco's homelessness crisis and how bad the issue is. There's a lot of programs that don't work because it's enforced by the city. They hand out needles, they hand out kits.
Correct.
So what can you do to stop that? That's obviously
Stop
for the
electing
harm.
Democrats.
Yeah. So this local election, right?
Nice one.
For the local election, a lot of people didn't turn out for the election. How can we increase the voter turnout to change those?
I mean, it's as insofar that people want to keep on living in this hellscape, then you will.
Yeah.
But you do not have to have the homelessness problem. You do not have to have the crime problem. It is a casualty of choice. It is a choice to have the streets the way they are. And as long as people don't show up, I guess they don't care enough.
Hey, we had a conversation earlier,
Make it quick because I don't like to do repeats. But
Well, absolutely. Well, I'm talking about a different topic this time. You made some interesting points. You made some interesting points about the crime statistics in the African American community. You think crime and poverty are intrinsically linked?
Not always, but they could be directionally close to each other. For example, poor Asians are not necessarily more likely to commit crimes than a poor black person.
Okay. Do you think there's systematic functions in place that prevent African Americans from moving upward?
No, does not exist.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think they've ever enforced any policies
maybe,
or any actions?
Maybe 40 or 50 years ago, but nothing in our lifetime, not even close.
I would say in our lifetime, right? Within our
That's a big deal,
our
though,
last
right?
20 decades, our last 2 decades, right? We've had a lot of opportunities for upper mobility, right?
And for whatever reason,
But at a systemic
it hasn't
level,
worked.
at a systemic level, there's a history of prejudice within the American system against African Americans and black people.
But there's also historic systemic bias against Asian Americans and Jews. It hasn't held them back.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about them.
No,
right?
but it's important to compare. Why is it that it held blacks back but not Asians or Jews?
So I'll answer that. So Jews, well, let me speak about Asians. As a model minority, right? They've had more opportunities for upper mobility.
How?
Well, in terms of getting business loans, setting up in different neighborhoods.
Well, there was a lot more anti-Asian discrimination in California than anti-black discrimination in the 40s and 50s.
So you agree
A lot
100% that African Americans have getting the same opportunities?
No, I'm not. Look,
As far as redlining goes.
Groups are sometimes treated poorly. Whether or not you're able to overcome that is the question. Number two.
So treated poorly doesn't cover it. I have a couple things. I have a couple lines right here. So we have the Tulsa Massacre of 1921, right?
Yeah,
where African Americans established a black.
Ago.
Well, they established a Black Wall Street, right? And that was taken down. We have the Black Panthers
how does that
in
impact
San Francisco.
How does that impact you?
Well, I'm saying there's a history. I'm trying to establish a link here.
No, but I think, again, that you're trained to do this in the college. It has no bearing on whether or not you can make good decisions or not.
True.
Right?
College has no impetus on my thinking. This is
No, I know, but I reject the whole premise. You are not a creature or a victim of what happened 104 years ago. You're your own being with your own agency, your own ability to make decisions of right
and I
or
agree
wrong.
to not subscribing to a victim mentality and taking accountability
I know, but
for your actions.
I don't think any of that plays into your current status.
You don't think so at all?
No.
Can you list more reasons as to why?
Yeah, the number one problem with Black America is the fact that dads are not around, not the fact that
and
there
that's
was
enforced by the government.
No, it's not.
Different. I would say on an individual basis, there's different programs that stop.
Two out of three Black youth did not have a dad around.
Yeah, there's a crack epidemic. CIA moved crack into the hood. We went into different hoods in Los Angeles community.
Yeah, but you have to still choose to do drugs. So, like, the point is you're a victim of your choices, not your circumstances. That's what makes us conservatives
I
different.
think you're removing culpability from people, but I agree with the accountability and
we
the
believe
circumstance.
choices are what determine what you're in, not what's around you.
Yeah,
so,
your choices inform your environment and your outcomes. I agree with that.
Yeah, so then if people choose to do crack cocaine and therefore your kids don't have a dad around, that's your own choice. If you choose to commit crimes and you're in prison, that's your own choice.
Yeah,
but no other community has had this problem. Why does Black America have this problem?
I think there's a direct link between the prison industrial complex and incarceration.
Well, but how does one get to prison?
And the profiling African Americans.
Well, hold on. But first of all, it's not a profiling when it comes to that. Blacks are far more likely to commit crimes than any other group associated. It's like 3 to 4 times more likely. It's not even close. So how is that profiling?
Well, I'm not here to debate numbers because I don't have the numbers with
It's
me.
okay. When you get home, you can look at it. Black Americans are 13% of the population. They commit 55% of the violent crime.
A statistic I've heard before.
Right.
Again, I don't have the numbers to
It's fine.
counter
You could
it.
independently fact check it later. I don't anticipate you to have it off the top of your head. But why is that?
I don't have a direct answer.
I know. That's what I want you to think about it. And I'm not going to put you on the spot. Here's our answer. It's easy and tempting to say systemic racism, redlining, right? All that. Or you could say, maybe it's because dads aren't around, because dads being with their equivalent others or spouses is not a value in the Black community anymore. It's acceptable to have men impregnate women and flee. It's not a cultural expectation.
I think our cultural expectation is for African Americans to stand with their families and increase, because there's a lot of evidence that shows when two parents are present in a household, they have a higher chance of their children succeeding.
I agree. Then why doesn't that happen?
Upward.
So why don't Black dads stay around?
I think that's a progression in our community. I think that's a progression.
But
now.
why is
I'm
that
saying
happening?
that the reason that we're here is there's a lot of factors that led us to this point.
I don't but it's a decision that a Black man can make. He's impregnated a woman, so he's not in jail. So he's like a free citizen. Why not stay with that woman and start a family?
And I'd say for the most part,
66% of the time,
we're moving in that direction.
It's getting worse, not better, actually.
True.
The single fatherhood rate is getting worse in Black America.
Crazy.
It was 25% in 1965. It was 50% in 1980. It's 75% in certain cities now. It's beyond comprehension. It's like the worst of the industrialized world. And there's only one explanation. It's that it's not a cultural value in Black America right now.
I think we have to disagree. I think it is a cultural value moving forward, and I think
But
it
then
has
why
been
is
a
it
cultural
happening?
value. And I think post-civil rights movements, and especially during the civil rights movement, that was a major impetus. That was a major focus of the Black community, and that's how we got through that movement.
You know, Black
through
America,
that structure and that family
you know, Black
unit.
America's actually gotten poorer since the Civil Rights Act.
Well, yes, I understand
Why?
that. I don't have an answer for that.
It's okay. Think about it. And I'm not saying it's one or the other, but the Civil Rights Act is revered as this amazing thing. But Black America is actually poorer, more likely to commit crimes, in more poverty than it was before the Civil Rights Act. There's a lot of explanations. Thomas Sowell's written entire books about this.
And I've read on Thomas Sowell.
Good. And I want you to keep reading Thomas Sowell because he'll push your boundaries and he's phenomenal. Here's our belief system. The most important thing is dads in the home. If you do not have two parents around, everything falls apart. It's not about government checks or welfare. It's the nuclear family. The nuclear family is a guarantor more than anything else that a kid is going to.
And I 100% agree with that.
Great. So we have to figure out then, it's a riddle. I think I know the answer. Why so many Black youth do not have dads around.
I personally think the answer is more convoluted than that. I think it's a bit muddled. I think going forward, there's going to be an upward progression in that area. I have to look at the numbers, and I'll come back to you with some better statistics.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thanks for your good-hearted question. Thank you very much.
Okay, this was actually a meaningful conversation. I actually respect the Black student a lot. That he's very sensible. Like, it's not every Black student that is actually like this. It's a open dialogue and a very respectful one as that. Whenever it comes to black people in general, it's just that there is no difference in black communities or in black home, or the reason why the gang shit is increasing, or should I call it like that? The gang movement is increasing, that black is not as effective, or black is getting more poorer, or a lack of fathers in the home, is that is upbringing. You see, this thing called upbringing. We are drifting away from family. Family is not being prioritized anymore. I will say this in all my video. Whenever it comes to this indoctrination about black people, family is not being prioritized anymore in the black families. You see a lot of black women having probably three, let me use the little number, three baby daddies from black men. You see a lot of black men who are not, who choose not to be settled down with one woman, who choose to have three baby mamas, four baby mamas. This is like a cultural thing right now that we, the black I won't say with the black community, but the black community in general are indoctrinating, that they are choosing to accept. It's turning into a cultural aspect right now that black people are not having that family bees or father and mother. Right now they're having baby mamas or baby daddies. If you go into a relationship pool right now, you'll see from the age of 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, check the ladies and the black homes. A lot of them have baby papas or baby daddies. Like a lot of them. Like the numbers are increasing every time. They have probably two baby papas, two baby daddies, three baby daddies, four baby daddies from different men. From different men, guys. Some of them have from the same man. Maybe two children from a specific man, and the man choose not to marry them again, or choose not to follow them, just want to be training his kid. It's turning into a cultural aspect in the black communities. I'm not saying the white people are not doing it, but in the black communities, it's getting way, way worse. You can see that movement in music, in our musical life aspects. Like, it is very high. In the music industry right now, they're actually promoting that way more, because literally all the top musicians that are actually black, check them. Let's don't talk too much. Just check them. Baby mamas, literally everywhere. So it's turning into a normal norm right now. I've been watching different videos since morning, and my voice is actually changing, because I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over again for people to tend to understand. Literally all my videos, whenever it comes to this black aspects of black families not being together, it's always lead to the same thing: lack of fathers in the home. A lot of black fathers are in jail. A lot of them choose not to take responsibility for their actions. A lot of them choose to go meet another spouse and impregnate another person's daughter or another person, because they feel like they cannot end up with that person because the person did not suit them. But they tend to pregnant that girl. You have given her, you're putting her in the family way already, and choose not to marry her anymore because you feel like you guys are not compatible anyway, and you don't want to marry her, you need someone else. Then who do you want to marry that lady? Then the child you are bringing up that is going to grow up will be brought up in a separated home. Father is living in Los Angeles, mother is living in Pennsylvania. Like, it's very serious. Like, in a very separated home, then they tend not to have the father value, the father teaching in the home. Even if the mother chooses to marry someone else or choose to end up with another man, the kid already have that in a psyche in his head that this is not my father. It's the truth. So this cultural aspect of black people that are indoctrinated right now is getting worse. If you talk about how successful people have become, Asian America is one of the most successful groups in America. They are very, very successful because of why? Because of the family background, because of the family aspects in their life. Asians prioritize family. Asians respect what they call family. Asian respects that. You hardly see an Asian family that is separated. It's hard to find. It's very, very tough to find. So I love how Charlie handled the student. I love how the conversation went about. I love how respectful it is. It's just that the black communities have to be much better. The black people have to think above where they are and remove the slavery aspect or the indoctrination from their head that they are more than what they see. And they should choose to prioritize what it means to be in a family and respect that. So guys, the entire conversation was actually beautiful. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video to as many as can. Subscribe to our channel, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.